Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be going over number 2 from the directions. So when you're looking at the directions, okay, so here's the top of them, and you scroll down and you get to that number 2, I'm going to be going over what this is asking you to do. Now, you can totally look at the lecture all on your own, but if you want me to kind of walk you through it like I would do if we were in class, continue watching this video. So I'm going to go through this as quick as I can and make it as simple as possible. So hopefully it becomes very clear on what needs to be done. So we're going to be talking about a campaign, and that is what you guys are actually creating for Jewel Esco. You're creating a marketing campaign. Now, what is a marketing campaign? So a marketing campaign is designed with different goals in mind. Okay, so maybe you're building a brand image. So maybe you're not the first brand people think of. You're not the most popular brand. So maybe you're creating some sort of marketing campaign that brings light to you. Maybe a company's introducing a product for the very first time. Or maybe you're just trying to increase sales or reduce some negative news. So say you messed up as a company and you're trying to get back into people's good graces, get some loyalty back, get your fan base back. So marketing campaigns, whatever goal they have in mind, dictates whatever they're making. Now, when I say what they're making, I'm talking about social media, or should we make print ads? Should we do a YouTube ad? Should we do a commercial or radio? So depending on what your goal is, that dictates what you're making. Now for this project, I've already told you what you're making. What you make it look like is up to you. Now, in order to be successful, you have an overarching theme. Now, when I say overarching theme, it means if someone took all your work and just kind of threw it up in the air and it all landed randomly with other people's stuff, and I picked up your social media, I could tell, okay, this company, here's their campaign, and then say I picked up your print ad. I would be able to tell it came from the same campaign because there should be similar vibe. It should have the same wording, same color scheme, same pictures, same message. So when a company does a campaign, it has that overarching theme and it tells a story. Now, it can be over an extended period of time. Okay, campaigns, guys, are not forever. Companies are constantly changing them up over the years to work on a different goal. Okay, so a marketing campaign is temporary. It just depends on how long that company wants to put it in place. So really quickly, I'm going to go through some really successful marketing campaigns. You guys can explore these further, but these are companies that just made campaigns that really worked wonders for them. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Dos Equis. So Dos Equis is a beer company. Okay, and this was a really popular campaign. So rather than featuring some 20-something-year-old, having fun, playing, volleyball on the beach with their friends, enjoying beer, they went for a gray-haired journeyman. So they wanted this rugged-looking man, and they dubbed him the most interesting man in the world. I'm very positive you guys have heard this slogan. So they say if he were to pat you on the back, you would list it on your resume because he's like that great. Now, the whole tagline for this was, I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends. Now, what's cool about this ad is they're bringing light to the fact that you don't have to marry a product. He's not saying, I drink beer every day and it's Dos Equis. He says, I don't always drink it, but when I do, I choose this brand, because they paint him kind of as a whiskey, liquor guy, mysterious type man. But his beer of choice is Dos Equis. So they really took a very interesting approach to their campaign. Here's just some print ads and a video spot that was created, and you can see it has the same vibe. Same guy, obviously, and that same kind of ambiance about it. You can watch the video if you'd like. Now, I know you guys don't drink beer because you're underage, but back in 2009, craft beers, which are like your very unique beers, kind of took over, and domestic beers, which Dos Equis would be considered, kind of started to decline, but Dos Equis didn't. Dos Equis actually shot up 22%, while all their other competitors fell 4%, even when craft beers were like monopolizing the market. And it was because of their marketing campaign. Marketing campaigns can increase sales, and that's exactly what it did here. Here is another one, Always is a feminine care product. Now, they really did a good job. This was supposed to be more of an empowering one, and they did the whole hashtag like a girl. So everything you see that they put together has that like a girl, hashtag like a girl. So anything they put out had that. Now this was kind of turning the phrase like a girl from an insult into a term of empowerment. So a lot of their stuff is asking young girls to run like a girl, throw like a girl, fight like a girl. And it looks very normal. And then they show a lot of asking boys, oh, throw like a girl, fight like a girl, you know, run like a girl. And it's very insulting on how they portray what a girl does. So this was kind of helping girls' self-esteem, because they said at a very young age, it's very hard for a young girl to come out of self-esteem issues when exposed to it so young. So this was trying to empower girls from the start. So they put out a really powerful video. If you guys want to watch it, you can. All right, this one is a huge one. If we were in class, I would ask you guys if you've ever heard of American Family Life Insurance Company, and most of you would say no, but you actually do. It's Aflac. So that's what Aflac stands for, because I know you guys were like really interested to figure out what it did. But in 1955, when it started, to 2000, so the duck didn't really come around until 2000, 12% of people knew what American Family Life Assurance Company is. They were like, we need to change this. So they shortened their name up, got a mascot, the duck, and now 90% of people recognize this brand. From 2000 to now, 90%. So they went from 12%, you guys, to 90%. So that's one of those goals that I mentioned earlier, is like getting new brand recognition. So the Aflac duck, who appears in ads featuring the customers, you know, whoever, you know, forgets their name, he always pops up and he's like, Aflac, and they're like, oh yeah, that company. So the duck is kind of like their go-to. A lot of you have probably seen this and understood it, that it's an insurance company. All right. Last but not least, I think this is my last one. Coca-Cola. Believe it or not, they have some issues. Coca-Cola found out that 50% of teens and young adults hadn't even had a Coke before. And that was alarming to Coke, because the teens and young adults felt like Coke was kind of just this like cookie cutter brand. They were losing that connection. They were too familiar, too predictable. So what they did was the Share a Coke campaign. And I'm going to guess a few of you remember this, but it was like share a Coke with your friend, share a Coke with Jimmy, share a Coke with your coach, share a Coke with Kate. And they put that on everything. So if you guys look at this slide, they had mobile buses, where you could like print out your own labels and put them on cans. They had their social media pages. They had their outdoor ads that were constantly changing with different names. So that summer when they did this, Coke sold more than 250 million bottles and cans to a country, and this was in Australia, that had just under 23 million people. Okay, 250 cans for 23 million people. So it really then made its way around the world to 70 countries, and really took it by storm. So this was a genius campaign on their part, especially with something so simple. People love personalized stuff. And one thing that was really big about this is social media. People shared it like crazy. Anytime you guys see something cool or even not cool, your first initial instinct, share it on social media. So the result of this really simple campaign, remember, temporary, they still don't have these, is 7% increase in consumption, 5% more people drinking Coke, which I know seems like a small number, but think about the population of the world, 5% of that. Sales transactions grew. They had Facebook traffic, social media impressions. People were sharing virtual Coke cans on the internet. People were going to their kiosks where they could print out their own labels. Huge results for such a small change. Okay. Now, the next slides are super important. So if you're still with me, I'm going to buzz through these. These are companies that the kids worked for in the past. So Suburban Tire, Jewel Osco, Walgreens, Lecco, Chateau Dumplings. What you're going to see in these columns is what the companies, when their person came in, their marketing team came in, told my kids, this is what we're looking for. This is what we need help with. Please don't pay attention to this. Jewel Osco, this was like 2 or 3 years ago. You guys have a different issue, which you should already know if you read the directions. So these were past companies. Now what you're going to see are slides that I took from kids' final projects. These were their theme slides. So the kids liked to start off their presentation saying, hey, here's the theme you're going to see in our campaign. Here's the tagline. Here's the vibe. Here's the message. So you can look over this slide, but here are some slides that I took from students where they kind of just set the tone. And they're set up multiple ways. So this group, okay, this is just a little note to you guys. This group said, hey, this was for Suburban Tire. They were like, in our campaign, you're going to see these 5 words all the time: trust, quality, friendliness, honesty, and expertise. Because if you go back up here, you can read about Suburban Tire, and that's kind of what they were looking for. So this team, they just made it really simple. They said, hey, you're going to see these words throughout our campaign. This is what we're focusing on. This team, they were working for a sports apparel company. Their whole theme was elevate. Okay, so elevate the experience. Wearing Star Pro elevates your performance. If you're a fan and you're wearing Star Pro, it elevates your experience at the game. So they're trying to elevate, so to rise up, to make watching sports and playing sports more exciting. So you saw that word elevate in a lot of what they did. Same company, the sports apparel company, they raised the bar. So raise the bar was in all of their stuff, kind of like their slogan, so that they wanted to kind of use it to increase customer expectation. Like, hey, we're a reasonable price, but we raise the bar when it comes to quality, style, and customizing your sports apparel. So see these two very different approaches, but the theme was very easy to understand. This was when we had Jewel back a couple years ago. They made a tagline, truly loyal, truly local, which was awesome. So they, talked about how they're a loyal company, they're local, and like what that meant to Jewel. This was Walgreens, the Better Body, Better World campaign. They were focusing on the message that when you take vitamins and you buy them from Walgreens, Walgreens donates vitamins. So by bettering your body, you're bettering the world. So it's kind of, you buy vitamins and they donate it to countries in need. You can see same concept for this one. Everyone has the right to be happy and healthy was their campaign for Walgreens. This was a breakfast company, Start Right, start your day off. And then this was a dumpling company. Dumplings are food. If you guys don't know what dumplings are. And it's like a passed down from generation to generation recipe that this product is made from. So it was saying new vines from strong roots. So it's like, your great grandma's recipe, but as your family expands, new vines, you're always rooted in that. Okay. And full table, full heart, same concept. So I know that was a lot to take in, but ultimately, guys, what number 2 is asking you to do is to take what you learned about Jewel Osco, what they're asking for, kind of what they're all about, and creating a new theme for them. Okay, what can they expect to see in your marketing campaign? What words, what vibe, what message? So you want to put that in your slide somewhere, that this is kind of what you're focusing on, whether you create a really clever little tagline or you just tell them like, here's the message that you're going to be able to see. So it's really up to you how you embody that. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you are checking out these directions and checking out all the links that I have. And I'm excited to see what you guys come up with, and I will talk to you soon.